Have you ever noticed that the loudest person in the room is rarely the one who truly controls it? Attention often gravitates toward noise, but power gravitates toward calm. In almost every social setting, meetings, classrooms, negotiations, social gatherings, the individual who speaks less, reacts slower, and remains emotionally steady ends up shaping the atmosphere without ever demanding it. While others rush to fill silence, defend their position, or prove their value, the calm person observes. They listen, they wait. And unconsciously, everyone else begins to orient themselves around that stillness. This is not accidental, and it is not a personality quirk. It is a psychological phenomenon rooted deeply in how humans perceive power, status, and safety. Most people misunderstand calmness. They associate it with weakness, passivity, or lack of confidence. In reality, calmness is often a signal of internal dominance. From a psychological standpoint, the human brain constantly scans for threats and hierarchies. When someone remains calm under pressure, when they are not rattled by conflict, urgency, or emotional chaos, the subconscious assumption is that this person is not threatened. And if someone is not threatened, the mind infers that they must have leverage, experience, competence, options, or inner security. Reactivity signals need. Calmness signals self-sufficiency. In social hierarchies, the individual who needs less is almost always perceived as higher status than the one who needs more. Human beings don't actually follow logic or words as much as they follow nervous systems. Every room has an emotional baseline, and that baseline is set by the strongest nervous system present. Anxiety spreads faster than information. Aggression spreads faster than arguments. Calmness, however, spreads stability. Our nervous systems are designed to synchronize with those around us, especially with individuals who appear composed and grounded. When someone remains calm, their body communicates a powerful nonverbal message. There is no immediate danger, and I am capable of handling what's happening. This signal causes others to either relax or become self-conscious, depending on their own emotional regulation. Either way, the calm person becomes the reference point. Silence is one of the most underestimated tools of psychological control, and calm people understand this instinctively. Most individuals speak not to communicate, but to relieve discomfort. Silence feels threatening to those who crave validation, approval, or certainty. When a calm person allows silence to exist, when they don't rush to explain themselves, defend their position, or fill the space, others feel compelled to talk. They begin to over-explain. They justify decisions that were never questioned. They reveal motivations that were never asked for. In that silence, people expose themselves. The calm individual doesn't need to interrogate or confront. The psychological pressure of silence does the work for them. This is why silence has long been associated with authority in leadership, negotiations, and power dynamics. Calm people are also extremely difficult to manipulate, which is one of the main reasons they command respect. Manipulation relies on emotional reactions: fear, urgency, guilt, excitement, flattery, or provocation. If someone reacts instantly, manipulation succeeds. Calm individuals don't react instantly. They pause. They observe. They create a gap between stimulus and response. That gap disrupts manipulation attempts because it removes urgency. Without urgency, control collapses. When someone cannot be rushed emotionally, they cannot be steered easily. Emotional regulation acts as a shield, and people instinctively respect those they cannot control. From an evolutionary perspective, Calmness has always been associated with leadership and survival. In early human groups, the most frantic individual was not the leader. Leaders conserved energy. They assessed situations before acting. They remained composed in the face of uncertainty. Calmness signaled high threat tolerance, experience, and strategic thinking. Even today, the brain interprets calm behavior as evidence of competence and authority, often without conscious awareness. This is why people naturally defer to calm individuals in moments of tension. They trust them to guide the situation. Another uncomfortable truth is that calm people are often detached in ways that others are not. They do not need to win every argument. They do not need immediate validation. They do not need to be liked by everyone in the room. This detachment is not apathy, it is emotional independence. Because they are not chasing approval, they are not controlled by it. Because they are not desperate to be understood, they are not defensive. And because they are not emotionally invested in every outcome, they remain unpredictable. Predictability is exploitable. Calmness removes that vulnerability. Calm people also understand that power does not announce itself. Those who constantly assert dominance, raise their voices, interrupt others, or demand attention are often compensating for internal insecurity. True psychological power does not need to prove itself. It is felt, not declared. Calm individuals let others compete for attention while they maintain composure. Over time, people begin to seek their approval, mirror their behavior, and defer to their judgment. Not because they were forced to, but because stability is naturally magnetic. Ultimately, calm people control the room not by controlling others, but by controlling themselves. In any environment, the person with the highest level of self-regulation sets the emotional tone. When tension rises, eyes instinctively turn toward the one who remains composed. When chaos unfolds, people look to the one who is not overwhelmed. Calmness becomes the anchor. And once someone becomes the anchor, the room begins to revolve around them. If you want to understand real influence, stop watching who talks the most. Watch who stays steady when others lose control. The calmest mind doesn't demand authority, it quietly becomes it.